Oh, you touched on 5 reasons why marriage doesn't work anymore. And your first reason was that sex becomes almost non-existent.
To me, that's mind-boggling and baffling. It's how can you expect to have a healthy marriage or a healthy relationship at that point and not have a physical connection with someone? I mean, I feel like that's important. When you lose that physical connection to an individual, where's the passion and where's the love? I think it kind of escapes, and that's what keeps it together. And I feel without that, you can't have a healthy marriage.
And why do you think that happens so much, especially with younger couples today?
Well, I think especially today, nowadays, with the, I guess the growth of social media, there's so many other outlets to find what you're looking for. There's so many other outlets to find that physical and sexual connection with somebody else that, like I mentioned in my article, you can go on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and there's going to be somebody that looks better than your wife or your husband, and it's going to be desirable, and people most of the time go for the bait. And I mean, why focus on you when I could focus on a million other people?
Okay, another point you made was that we're more connected than ever today, but we're also completely disconnected at the same time.
Right. So I think technology is wonderful. I'm a huge advocate for technology and how far we've come.
You do work for a technology company, so.
Yeah, I work for a pretty big tech company, so I'm a very big advocate of what technology does for the world, and it's had some great advancements. Like, I think of FaceTime for my nieces and my nephews with my mother and how she's able to connect with them. But then I look at the other pitfalls of technology and how the behaviors can change your relationship. Going on Instagram, going on Facebook, and being so obsessed with somebody's opinion of you, likes of your pictures, likes of your statuses. And so it's desirable to go on and get attention from other people. So like, while we're connected, we disconnect because we're so focused on what other people think of us and not necessarily what you think, what you think of me.
Like the intense amount of connection that we have to the outside world leads to an internal disconnection. All right, your next point was that finances cripple us.
Yeah.
A lot of people our age, and in their 30s, are living at home, living with friends, with roommates. So to get a place of your own and to establish a life and have a child, I know what it is.
Well, I mean, you think about it. You get out of school and you have a couple $100,000 worth of debt, and then going to find a job is difficult nowadays. Finding a good job is difficult nowadays. So not only are you fighting the financial struggle of paying for your student loans, you're looking for a place to live. You're looking to build your life. Once you find a place to live, then it's okay. How do I afford my student loans? How do I afford my mortgage?
Right.
And then you roll into that getting married and having a family. It's all of these bills and expenses just keep piling on at an unprecedented level, but your income's not. It's how do you survive?
Right.
And if people say that doesn't cause a strain on relationships, I think that's foolish, because it has to. Yes, years ago there were the same types of financial difficulties, but I don't think they were at the level they are today.
And then your next point was that the desire for attention outweighs the desire to be loved.
If you think about a physical connection between one person, how can that be enough anymore? Because I can get attention from so many other people. I can go post a picture of myself and see about 400 or 500 people like it, and that's going to give me gratification. Not me personally. That's going to give people gratification that you can't necessarily get from one person. How could you?
Right.
How can one person's love compare? It should. It most certainly should. It should be the most important type of attention you get, but it doesn't seem that way anymore, because people are more focused on what other people think of them than what the person they love thinks of them. It's immediate gratification. You get an argument with your girlfriend, and guess what? I'm going to go post a picture of myself, and 5 different girls are going to like it, and I'm going to feel really good about myself.
All right, and your last point was that, we've been talking about social media, but your last point was that social media just invited a few thousand people into bed with you.
Yes.
So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you think about your friends on social media and think about what you see. You typically see vacations. You typically see inside people's homes. I mean, this past Sunday was Easter. The weekend was Passover and Easter. So you saw people's celebrations. You were invited into someone's home to see what goes on, whereas years ago you would never see that. And beyond celebrations like vacations and holidays, you're invited into someone's bed, literally, because people are taking pictures of themselves half naked. People are taking pictures of themselves in their bathing suits, in their bikinis, whatever it may be. They're driving with you in their cars. Everywhere I know everything about everyone's life because they post it.
Yeah, and you even made a comment in your article that, your grandparents weren't worried about what Joe was eating for breakfast. No. It's true.